Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are listening, folks. Thank you very, very much for listening. Date today is the 19th of September, year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coping Hour, hosted by Nicholas Hinkle, a.k.a. Motano. What's up? Now, if you're watching today's show, bit of a striking visual difference in the appearance. I listen, what's crazy, I'm taping this episode, and I don't know what the background is going to be. So we got a new studio. If you're watching today's program, we got a new studio. We got the green screen in action live for the first time. Where am I? Whoa, we're in the media sphere. Whoa, where are we? Probably somewhere desolate. Probably somewhere, because we gotta find our studio, right? The studio cannot create itself, the virtual studio that will exist at some point in the future, distant or otherwise. One day it will exist, and who knows what it's going to look like, but we got to start from scratch, bare bones style, probably in the wilderness, probably somewhere crazy, just chilling, right? We'll let it come to us. I've worked for 2 damn weeks to make this green screen even 5% usable. It's been way harder than I thought it was going to be. But I also love it for myself when things look dumb, when things look and feel and are as dumb as they appear to be. So as I'm taping this, I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm excited to find out. But folks, I got to tell you something. Something happened this week. Something happened. If you use the timestamps to your advantage, it's been spoiled. You've seen it in the timestamps. It's true. The rumors are true. J.D. Vance came to my hometown this weekend. That was a real thing. On Tuesday afternoon, it was announced by the White House that J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, would be visiting Howell, Michigan. And I saw the location, the exact address of where he was going to be, and I said, get the hell out of here. What? Huh? I was like, what? And then, if you could believe it, I was like, huh. J.D. Vance was across the street from where I voted in 2020. Not only that, and it gets crazier, J.D. Vance, as of this taping 24 hours ago, was less than a mile away from where my dad lives. What? Huh? I mean, like, look, our childhood home, yeah, he was also very close to that, but like we moved when I was in high school. It's a traumatic experience when you have to move as a child. That's a good segment. Someday I'll bank that and store that. Moving for the first time as a child and the trauma that comes with that. Brutal for us. But where we moved to, that's where my dad lives now. J.D. Vance was just right there. The Vice President of the United States was just right there. I mean, like where like my like youth football trophies are. You know, various home videos, all of the shit when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, was less than a mile away from the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, yesterday. That just happened. Now, in my head, I don't want to say like selfishly. I don't know how to phrase this. I was thinking, oh my God, it's going to happen, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean? I was like, It just makes too much sense, selfishly for the show, that it would happen in my hometown, less than a mile from where I grew up, essentially. It, rest assured, did not. It did not happen. It didn't happen. I did watch the whole thing, though. I watched the full live stream from, like, local news. You know, like the news that I was watching when I was a kid, like the local affiliates and stuff. Click on Detroit, Channel 4, all that stuff. And I first of all, I was curious to see if there was going to be anybody there that I knew. No. Everybody that I knew, at least, especially on Facebook. I was active on Facebook, make sure that everybody that I know, because I tell you what, the last week I've been on Facebook more, you know what I mean? I've really been on Facebook, because I just need to know, what do the people that I went to high school think about what just happened in America? You know what I mean? I just can't help myself. And it's been the funniest thing in the world. I mean, the kid that by the time it was 7th grade, you're like, okay, so there's you have the cool kids, and you have the band kids, and you have like the sport kids, and you have like the burnouts, you know what I mean? By like 6th or 7th grade, you know, like, oh, you're not going to be fucking anything. You're going to fucking, you know what I mean? You're not going to be anything. It's those people that on Facebook in the last week here in America have been like, it's the same goddamn thing every time, and it makes me laugh every single time. They start their post with like something to the effect of, I've been quiet for long enough, but it's time that I speak up. This senseless murder of Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, thank God. It's literally the epitome of like the Dave Chappelle, like, what the fuck where is Ja? You know what I mean? What the fuck, what does Ja Rule think in a time like this? The kid that by 6th grade, you're like, you're gonna fuck, you know what I mean? That kid being like, I gotta get my shit off here about this Charlie Kirk assassination, has been the funniest revelation to me in the world. And so I was desperate to know, is one of those guys, one of those characters, going to be at this J.D. Vance appearance in the place that I grew up? No. Seemingly none of them were. The amount of people that... So as I'm taping this, like an hour ago, the Charlie Kirk vigil wrapped up in my hometown in Michigan, in Howell, Michigan. Right? Over the last week, neighboring towns, have held like adjacent vigils. And I have seen, man, the people that I grew up with, like, people are getting out. People are like really going to this shit for real. And it says, so who spoke at the JD? He just didn't say anything interesting. I thought some funny shit was going to happen. I mean, I guess he did threaten to send the National Guard to Detroit. He was like, hey, Gretchen, you want the National Guard? We'll send the National Guard. For our international listeners or those not familiar with, otherwise familiar with domestic politics, Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of the state of Michigan. And it is funny. I'm really not trying to do this whole thing. It is funny, observationally, that like nobody remembers. I'm not trying to do, bipartisan, whatever. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying observationally, we talk about political violence, big topic of conversation here in America in the last week for no reason at all. People just kind of like be forgetting that people from Heartland, Michigan, plotted to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. They plotted to kidnap the governor of Michigan. It's a real thing that happened. Or even like, wasn't it like earlier this year or late last year? That was the governor of Pennsylvania, was that guy's name Josh Shapiro? I don't think that's his name. I think his last name's Shapiro. The governor of Pennsylvania, motherfucker, like tried to burn his house down. While they were in the house, everybody was asleep in the house, and a guy broke in and tried to burn the governor's house down. Pretty wild thing to have happen. I don't know. You're watching in America, and it's well, let me say that point first. You're watching an America that would otherwise not be politicized, be severely politicized by something, and completely grapple to viewpoints that they otherwise would not consider. There are people in my life that I love very dearly, and their well-being is very important to me, who are being affected by this, who are like being pulled down a rabbit hole that is fucking with me. That's very... You know what I mean? That's crazy to observe. We talk about, things observationally. That's crazy to observe. Is watching people in my life that otherwise would not care about this shit at all. They just stay out of it for one reason or another. They do not care. And we've talked about this in recent episodes since Charlie Kirk was killed, by the way. Killed. They killed him, bro. I don't know. Do we get there in this episode? Look at the timestamps. Do we get to they killed Charlie Kirk? Do we talk about that at some point? I have no idea. I don't know. But even in the instance that I'm talking about, you talk about a they. I'm witnessing people that are very close to my heart that otherwise would not care about this shit at all come to conclusions and talking about things that I would otherwise never hear them talking about. I think this also goes back to something that we've talked about since his murder, his assassination. What are we calling this? It just objectively is a very political, very politically motivated assassination, regardless of narratively what you're going with. Depending on what news stations you're watching these days. Do we get to that? Do we get to the man? There's just so many. It's a tough job covering all the biggest stories and covering them from all angles. There are simply too many angles on this thing. And by the way, it is not lost on me that at some point we got to talk about something else. It's not. I get it. Charlie Kirk is not the first guy to have died ever. Not ever, Not even to have died the way that he died. Not ever. But, man, I just can't describe to people who don't live in America, like, really what this has done to just discourse in general. And the cloud, seemingly, that's hanging over the country because of this. Now, I talk about people in my life who are being affected by this, who otherwise I would not have given a shit, people who didn't know who Charlie Kirk was at all. Which is kind of a different thing. I don't know. Maybe that's something else that I want to talk about. Is just how crazy it is to me. And I'm so fucking sorry, honestly, that we're talking about this still. That we're still talking about this. It's not just for lack of anything else going on, truthfully. There's nothing else going on as far as sports are concerned, which is what we would otherwise be talking about. But it's also like, this is a huge fucking deal. This is a huge deal that Charlie Kirk got killed the way that he did. And again, it's also starting to fuck with me now that people in my life that I love and care about are being affected by it in ways that I think are dangerous. That's really, you know what I mean? That's something that I'm having to wrestle with, and I don't really know. I've really struggled on how to approach that. And the sheer number of people who had no idea who Charlie Kirk was is astonishing to me. And it really does maybe we've talked about this too. I'm sorry if I'm just repeating myself. But it's like the scale of this. I don't know that I'm surprised by it, but I guess I am a little bit but I just think it goes back to this, what I was trying to say. I think it just goes back to like, yeah, Doug, because we all saw it. Because we saw it in the most crystal clear 4K way possible. We saw it happen, And regardless of what you think about him, this is something, again, that I know for a fact we said on the show. Regardless of how you felt about him, those images are so striking that it will invoke a reaction out of you. And I think that's why you're seeing people that 5 minutes before Charlie Kirk was killed the way that he was killed, the same people who were like, oh my God, thoughts and prayers and blah, 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 blah. Those same people were the ones who were like, he's a fucking Nazi and we need to kill Nazis and Nazis deserve to be dead. Right? That was like the most extremist way to look at it. And that like the way that he died wasn't brutal enough. You know what I mean? Until it actually happened. And then you saw this mass, you know what I mean? And then it was almost like and this is, I guess, where we move into the next thing. Then it was like almost an overcorrection to how we respond to the people who didn't give a shit that he died and didn't feel affected by the fact that he died. Right? As of this taping, it was about 24 hours ago right now. So by the time you're listening to this, a day or two ago, the longest story short possible, Jimmy Kimmel off the air completely, gone. Never heard of him before. Jimmy Kimmel Live, for all intents and purposes, I don't know that the average person would say that he was their favorite, but he more or less was the dominant late night voice in American television for the last however long. Like, even when Conan was actually on the air, I don't know what the ratings would suggest, but I just felt like engagement-wise, Jimmy Kimmel is who people, but I don't know, with Conan and, you know, since he's quote-unquote retired and shifted to just like the podcast stuff, there's been, I don't want to say it's a renaissance, but I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel, at the very least, out of it's Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, and I don't even at that point, you know, who Seth Meyers, whatever. Jimmy Kimmel was kind of the top dog. Jimmy Kimmel's off the air completely. The government stepped in. This is a long story short. The government stepped in and was like, yeah, we don't like what Jimmy Kimmel said about Charlie Kirk. And all Jimmy Kimmel said about Charlie Kirk, like a day or two after condemning the shooting and being like, this was a fucked up thing that happened, and like, whatever, this is wrong. Like, this is a wrong thing that happened. That's what Jimmy Kimmel said. He goes on his show a day or two later, and in his opening monologue says something to the effect of like, it's just interesting to me how the right-wing television networks of America have clung to a narrative that they spun before we actually learned anything, and then even after we learned shit. Like, they were so focused on one narrative that even when we actually learned shit, it didn't matter. They were using this as an opportunity to score political points. He didn't say anything specifically about Charlie Kirk, just that the right-wing media machine was kind of using this as an opportunity that he thought was disingenuous. That was the nail in the coffin, and that was it for Jimmy Kimmel, which is really, that's shocking. And you're seeing this is a common theme in the country, is you're seeing whether it's news anchors or everyday workers, just normal people, getting fired for shit that they're saying on social media. Was it an anchor for MSNBC? He said something to the effect of like, literally all he said was like, yeah, Charlie Kirk was a very polarizing figure. Some people fucking hated him. Some people didn't fucking hate him. Some people really, really liked him and thought he was, important and all this stuff. But some people fucking hated him. And just for this hours after he died, I mean, this was in the immediate aftermath that Charlie Kirk died, that this guy said this, and he lost his job for that. And you're just seeing this sweeping. And I think this is really where a lot of people are coming, honestly, is to the conclusion that you're seeing an administration, you're seeing a government in the United States that is using a killing, a murder, an assassination, a synonyms to do shit that they wanted to do regardless. You know what I mean? That is just using this as the opportunity to, okay, now is when we can go fucking insane. You know what I mean? This is when we can go sick and nasty and wild style. I've been watching a lot of Laura Ingraham this week, the Ingram angle on Fox News. Been watching a lot of that. I mean, everybody. I've been watching everybody, but once it's Laura's time slot, I switched it over to Fox News because I need to know what she's saying. And it has been very, very bizarre to see an entire network, whether it's Fox and Friends or Laura Ingraham or Hannity or, an entire news network just reject, like information that comes out about this case, because like they're focused on, again, what we were just saying, like this outcome that they were hoping for before we actually knew anything, and everybody's painting their own pictures. On this show, we said it was fucking, maybe it was accelerationist or something like that. Everybody's got their own theories and shit like that. I don't know. I don't know if the FBI has really made this any better. I mean, I don't want to call it transcripts. It's fake, but they released a bunch of text messages, and those were clearly, doctored is the right word. Is it clear they're not fucking real text messages? Between the alleged shooter Tyler Robinson and his alleged roommate. Is the roommate even real? I don't fucking know. Maybe there's a real roommate. I'm not sure. And you're just seeing, you really are just seeing an America that is so divided right now, and it's pissing me off because I kind of just am ready to fucking get over it. Is the truth? I think I'm ready to move on. It's still not real in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I still can't believe as an instance that it was a thing that happened. Does it worry me? Does it worry me? I go back and forth on that every single day, and I have no idea. I go back and forth on it. In the hours in the immediate aftermath of Charlie Kirk getting killed, I think my general sentiment was like, no, nothing bad is going to happen. Like, this is crazy for people who are online, but I don't think this is going to, You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be a big deal for a couple days, but I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought. That's not even true, because in the immediate hours that he got killed, we taped a show, and in there is when I was like, I think the images are what's gonna fuck with people, and this isn't gonna go away. And that seems to be the case. I'm watching people that I love and that I care about like fall for like AI generated like fake articles about this. Like, I'm serious. Like, this is fucking with me, because I'm seeing how like quote unquote normal people who are otherwise detached from this are being like indoctrinated by it. Is that the word? I don't know if that's quite, that seems like a little bit of a too aggressive of a word for it, but I don't know. And then and you're just seeing, you know, I don't know how to say this and not sound insane. Like, it's harder to find the videos. Like, it's a little bit harder to find the videos than it was a couple of days ago when all of these sites and all of these platforms were just like flooded with it, you know, and people talking about it. And I don't know. I think that this is something that I asked a question the episode that Charlie Kirk was murdered. And a couple hours later, I asked a question that, since I asked it, has really bothered me, because I just think it was just the wrong question. I think I kind of know what I was getting at, but the question that I asked has really bothered me. I asked, is this going to be the end of political brain rot? That's the wrong question to ask. That's not even close to what, it's not right at all. No, obviously this is not the end of political brain rot. You fucking, no, that's not, no, that's not what it is. But, and clearly it's not. And I think, and you know what, and maybe just to stay on that train of thought, like, clearly it's not. If I'm talking about people that are in my life that otherwise do everything they can to keep blinders on and to stay out of political content, and this arena is just something that they, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of something that everybody else talks about, but it's not something that they care about at all. Once they're drawn into it, then they just, you know what I mean? Then it's a meat grinder. And then when you're, especially in this day and age, I mean, it's so impossible to get drawn into anything that is of, like, I don't know, like social consequence, because you aren't acutely aware yet of misinformation tactics and like AI stories and shit like that. And I don't know, man. It's been weird. There's just been days where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, man. And things just, I just feel bummed out about stuff, and I just keep watching the video. I say it's getting harder to find. That doesn't mean I can't find it. I can still find all of the angles that I'm looking for. And it's hard not to read all of these conspiracies. I mean, I was really, you know what's crazy is I started this episode and I was like, I'm not going to talk about it today, literally at all. And then it just kind of happens, and but I'm telling you, man, it is really the thing that if you're online, it's hard to escape it. And he had like a funeral, and he had like soldiers carrying his casket, and it was a whole thing. And look, I don't know how morticians work, and I don't want to comment on the shade that they made his corpse. It doesn't seem appropriate, but it seemed a little orange. I don't know how that shit works. I don't know. His wife posting pictures of his dead body seems but it's grief and it's shock. It just seems so fucking wild to me. But hey, God forbid I'm ever in that position. You know, it all just seems wild. Just seems like we're in a fever dream right now. It's crazy. And you have Donald Trump going over to the United Kingdom. He spent a couple days in England. You had all these like counter protesters, or just protesters in general. I guess they're not counter protesters, they're just regular protesters. And they're you know, putting up all these pictures of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and they got all these signs and stuff like that. And if you're, you know what I mean, you know, listen, if there's anybody who got a little bit hoed, I don't know how to say this. There's no way to actually make this point without sounding fucking insane, but you know what I mean. If there's anybody in all this Epstein shit who has gotten hoed over the last couple of years, it's definitely Prince Andrew. 100% it is. Because you're telling me seemingly nobody's gotten in trouble for this. Nobody's gotten caught. Everybody's just, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein, I guess, did because he was murdered. And then Ghislaine Maxwell went to jail. And then most recently, within the last couple of months, like this summer, was moved to like a lower security prison where she kind of just gets to like chill and like hang out and like it's real casual vibes and shit like that. I guess they did. But as Prince Andrew is the only other one that got in trouble, and he had to do like an interview on the BBC where they're like, "Why did you do that? That was so fucked up. Like, why did you hang out with Jeffrey Epstein?" And he was like, "Well, I didn't, and that's crazy, and you guys are lying, and like you're besmirching my name, and that's fucking insane because I'm literally royal as fuck." I'm pissed if I'm him. Why did literally everybody get protected except for me? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I can't make this point and not sound insane. You know what I mean? But like, because I look at what the United States government just did, and they covered for dozens, hundreds of people. It's unknowable, dozens, because comfortably we can say dozens of people. The United States within the last 6 months, within the last 3 damn months, has covered for dozens of people. The Israeli intelligence has covered for dozens of people, hundreds of people combined. Who fucking knows? Who knows? But Prince Andrew was the one who had to face the damn music and go do an interview with the BBC where they're asking him questions about like, hey, you were dancing with like this 14-year-old girl, and and her account is that you sweat a lot. He was like, well, that's impossible because I fought in the Falklands, and when I was there, I developed a condition where it was PTSD, and I can't actually sweat at all. And the guy was like, what? You can't sweat at all? He's like, no, for real, I can't sweat at all. So she's a fucking liar because I can't sweat. So he had to sit through all of that shit. You know what I mean? If I'm him, I'm so pissed. I get exiled from like the royal family. Although, I don't know, since the queen died, vibes have been, at best, medium? At best, medium. Within the royal family. Because what is it? King Charles, Cancer. Kate Middleton, Cancer. People speculated that she was dead for like a month. People thought for like a month or two that she was dead. And then she was like, no, I just had cancer and was getting treatment, and that was it. And whoops. Oh, okay. She's been seen out a lot recently. She wasn't at the U.S. Open, some tennis bullshit. She was at recently. Her hair looked really, really nice. People were just talking about her. Although, no, it wasn't. I was going to say it was with the meeting that Trump just had with the king and with Camilla. What's Camilla? Is she the queen consort? What's her title? What does she go by? She's not the queen. She can't be the queen. She's a divorcee. She's the queen consort. Is that what she is? Where was Kate just recently? I don't know. I was also watching some Deal or No Deal. Speaking of Kate Middleton and watching the Rose, I've been watching a lot of Deal or No Deal lately, and a lot of Meghan Markle episodes. She used to be a Deal or No Deal girl, one of the case girls. A lot of episodes where you're just watching it, and then Meghan Markle will pop up. Whoa! Jump scare, Meghan Markle. Whoa! That's been fun to see. Yeah, Trump went to the United Kingdom. I gotta tell you, they rolled out the red carpet for Trump in a way that I was a little bit jealous of. And if I'm ever blessed to go to the United Kingdom, but to England specifically, I would love if the red carpet was rolled out for me this way. It must be so sick that you roll up to another country and they start flying your flags and they fly like planes overhead. My dog's going nuts. I don't know if you're gonna be with that. Maddie's not home. She's not gonna be able to stop him from barking, and my son is sleeping right now. I don't really know how to do this. I don't know if I have to stop recording. I'm just gonna talk through it. Hopefully he stops barking. I'm gonna tell my dog to stop barking while I'm. Hey. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. We here at the Coping Hour, we cover all the biggest stories. We cover them from all angles. Sometimes when your dog starts to bark and you just go, hey. Stop that. Knock that shit off. It works. Unfortunately, when that does happen, you forget what you were talking about. Perhaps I was talking about the World Cup. Was I talking about Donald Trump? I don't remember what I was talking about. That's really too bad. Let's do an email. copinghoursubs@gmail.com. Spelled phonetically. Email available in the description. Wherever it is that you listen to this program. This week, the emails were literally just Charlie Kirk. I mean, that's all that they were. But that's not technically true. We did get one here. And I don't even remember what this says, honestly, because I'm so Charlie Kirk brain this week. This one comes into us from Brandon. Brandon, save the show. Let's do something normal. Let's do something just like normal, real life shit. You know what I mean? Subject line is breakups. Yes, Brandon. Yes. This is what we need, I think, to sort of, not trying to do a pun here, to break up the tension, though. what's going on sort of socially and politically in America. Was I talking about Charlie Kirk? I don't remember what I was talking about. My dog started barking. Brandon, let's do it, brother. Hey, Nick. Just wanted to know how to deal with this. I have had a girlfriend of 2 years. In parentheses, you said 0 kids. But honestly, the flame ran out. Still like her as a person, but I just want to move on. Any advice? I'm just so used to girls breaking up with me as a grown-ass adult. I don't know how to deal with breaking up. Any advice? Should I... So you asked for any advice and then... okay, whatever. Should I treat this like a bad trade in the NBA or as LeBron going back to Cleveland as a Laker? Just coping. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Should I treat this like a bad trade? I also love the idea of a guy. You didn't include your age in here, right? I don't think that you did. No, you didn't. Your girlfriend of 2 years, 0 kids. I mean, you're in your early 20s. You're in your early. If you're beyond 25, God help you. But if you're like 22, then I'm gonna be like, whatever. Like, whatever. This is just a guy being 22. Like, whatever. So have you broken up with her yet? Because the vibe that I got from that text is that you haven't broken up with her yet. If you haven't, and you're asking me how you approach breaking up with her, well, first of all, what does that even mean? You're like, she's attractive, but I don't really feel the vibe anymore. I'm really hoping you're in your early 20s. Yeah, bro, like, it is what it is. Like, you guys are going to do what you guys do, and you're going to be fucking shitheads to each other, and it is what it is, but it's sort of just the circle of life. Sort of just how it goes. Learning experience for both of you, I guess. I don't know how to deal with you. I hope you've broken up with her. I'm not helping you with that at all. Because I don't know. Your logic is very funny to me. Where you're just, but it makes sense. I don't want to shit on your logic of like, yeah, the flame ran out. Yeah, sometimes I don't know. Maybe that just happens with people. I'm not gonna because again that's not like it's not impossible to think that that's a real thing. So how do you move on? I guess we'll just focus on that. We'll focus on that part of this. Is you broke up with a baddie and how do you move on from that? Man, well, the healthy way to do, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. How I would do it, like in the past, if Maddie and I were on like a break or something, I was super destructive. I didn't do anything good. But I also didn't like put myself out there, which I would recommend that you do. I don't think that was smart for me to do that. I think it would. I mean, I'm happy I didn't at the end of the day. It ended up working out for me because I'm the happiest I've ever been. And I have a son and I love him more than anything. You know what I mean? Like Maddie and I are the best we've ever been. So like I'm honestly glad. It's weird how this worked out. Like I'm glad in retrospect that I was just kind of like whenever Maddie and I weren't good and we like quote unquote weren't together, like I didn't fucking do anything. Like I would walk to work at Hot Topic and walk home and that was it. I wasn't even like drinking then. Like I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, I'm glad that I didn't because it ended up boomeranging back around and helping me out. But I think like most people, the person that they meet when they're 15, like isn't going to be the person that they're going to be with forever. Like that's just, you know what I mean? That's just, it's nice if that's the way that it works out. And it's cool if you have like this sort of like notebook style, you know what I mean? But like, that's just not how it always works out. So like, again, assuming in an email like this, you just have to include your age. I really think you do. There's no way you're older than 25. Let me cover that base. If you're older than 25, call your fucking mom, bro. Call your mom. Check in with her. I imagine it's been a while, but you got some stuff that you got to figure out, and I imagine that a nice hour-long phone call with her may help. If you do have a good relationship with your mom and this is still a thing that's happening and you're over 25 years old, again, I'm just trying to cover all the bases here. If that's the case, I would say therapy. Go see a therapist. Go. But if you're under 25, yeah, fair play. I just think, I don't know, guys and girls going to be sort of shitheads to each other. They're kids, you know? Unfortunately, in this instance, you're kind of the one that's you're in a relationship. By the way, I think I've kind of undersold this. Girlfriend of 2 years, but honestly, the flame ran out. What does that mean? Hold on. I've really undersold that part of this. I said, yeah, it's kind of the whole flame ran out. So, yeah, okay, if the spark's not there, the spark's not there. After 2 years, someone's cheating. For real. You know what I mean? It's someone. After 2 years, it took you 2 years to be like, nah. Right. Right. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I get it. I hear you. I'm just affirming you. I hear what you're saying. That's all that I'm saying is I hear you. I hear you. That's crazy. I'm not trying to shit on you. Do I need to read this a second time? Hey, Nick, just wanted to know how to deal with this. How to deal with this. I've had a girlfriend of 2 years, 0 kids, but honestly, the flame ran out. Still like her as a person, but I just want to move on. Any advice? I don't know. I need to keep reading this. I'm just so used to girls breaking up with me as a grown-ass adult. You say grown-ass adult. I think you might be over 25. What is that attitude? I'm trying to think of that. I understand. I kind of understand where you're coming from with the I'm used to girls breaking up with me. But just in the sense that if you're a grown-ass adult, I need to know how old you are. It's too bad that we won't know because we're not going to do this again. We're not going to do another email about this. Maybe we will if there's some shocking information, but I don't know. The idea of after 2 years, you're like, I don't know. I just think as a person, she's really cool. But as a partner, after 2 years, because it doesn't take you 2 years. I just think after after a year I'm being so generous with a year. Is when you would be like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. A year seems generous, but I've been with the same person for fucking almost 11, so I don't really know. I would imagine after a year, you have you know what I mean? 2 years is when because what do you fucking say to her? Hey, babe, I've really enjoyed the last 2 years of getting to know you and your family. I'm assuming you have some sort of a standing relationship with her family. You've probably met each other's families a couple of times at this point. After 2 years, I'd imagine so. Hey, all of that. I'm not trying to shit on this guy, bro. I'm really not. But the email just kind of... go listen to some Six Lack or something like that. Or some Black. How do you say? Some Six Lack. Go listen to that guy or something. This guy's, or maybe he's listening to too much Six Lack and he's listening to too much Bryson Tiller. I don't know. I say I'm not trying to shit on this guy, and then I just kind of keep doing it. It's just a funny fucking email. I've known the same, because whose time are you wasting? You know? Such a funny fucking email. To be like, I've known this same woman for 2 years. I've never known anybody else. But after 2 years, I finally realized what it was that I didn't like about her. And it was that she was a boring and terrible person. Well, that's not what you said, actually. That's the opposite of what you said. To be fair to you, to be fair to the emailer here, you did not say that she's a boring person, Brandon. You did not say that. You said you very much like her as a person. I just read. So what are you saying here? Is it I don't want to, because I don't want to say what I was about to say, because I'm not trying to shit on, I'm just trying to, if I'm going to shit on anybody, I'm trying to make it about you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, brother, for doing this. But it's a funny fucking email. Yeah, babe. The last 2 years were very fun, and I enjoyed them. But unfortunately, I hated every second of it. And you being my girlfriend for the last 2 years has been nauseating to me, and I wasn't sure how to do this, so I emailed... I emailed a guy on the internet that I listen to and to ask him how I should break up with someone and tell them that I have not been interested in them for quite some time. And unfortunately, Unfortunately, he did not give me any advice, and he just made fun of me for being a knucklehead, which I am doing. Because it seems very mean to me to date somebody for 2 years and then to be like, great girl, terrible girlfriend. You know what I mean? That's so much investment. That's so much emotional and physical financial, you would imagine. 2 years. That's some dinners. That's some lunches. Maybe some sweaters. Maybe a jacket was purchased. A Christmas gift. A birthday gift of some nominal value. It's unknowable. And after 2 years, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say somebody's doing something. Something happened. Did this guy get a new job? Oh, can't rule that out. Can't rule it out. I feel so bad. This guy's listening to this episode. He's like, ooh, I got my email read. And then after 10 minutes, he's like, well, this sucks. I'm sorry, dude, but you teed me up. I'm just saying we cannot rule out the guy just as an abstraction. The guy who gets a new job and he gets a new work wife. It's this new shiny toy. And he's like, I'm going to leave my girlfriend. I've been with her for 2 years, but I don't know. She's been kind of a bitch lately. And this new girl that I'm working with seems really cool. I wonder, you know what's crazy? What are the odds that this is a really nice guy who sent in the email? Honestly, well, to me, like, would he be a nice guy to me? Yes. He'd be very nice to me. To a girl? I don't know. This seems not nice. I don't want to say that this emailer, Brandon. I don't want to say Brandon here. This seems so fucked up. He's nice to women. He's a good guy. This is not reflective of him as an individual, but it is funny circumstantially to sink 2 years into a relationship before you realize, and these are your words, and this is the last time we'll read it. And after 2 years, honestly, quote, the flame ran out, unquote. Quote, shouldn't have ended the quote. Still like her as a person, but I just want to move on. Any advice? I'm just so used to girls breaking up with me. I'm just so used to girls that after a month, they're like, I don't want to be with you anymore. And they're just like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm just so used to that like when I bag a baddie, I just don't know I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do. Okay. 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 And then the rest of it, I'm just so used to girls breaking up with me. As a grown-ass adult, I don't know how to deal with breaking up. Any advice? Should I just treat this like a bad trade in the NBA? Or is LeBron going back to Cleveland as a Laker? Okay, if we say it's you're LeBron as a Laker and you're going back to Cleveland for the first time, I don't know that there's like that much hostility. Like, where are you going? You know what I mean? Are you fucking another girl at this girl's house? Like, you know what I mean? What does that mean? Yeah, I broke up with this girl and then I invited another girl over to my ex-girlfriend's house and I had sex with her. I felt like I was LeBron and I went back to when I was playing for the Lakers and I went back to Cleveland and I had sex with him. You know what I mean? So what does it mean? It's impossible to decipher. It's unknowable. Some would say it is quite unknowable. I have no idea. I don't know. It's fiction. This guy made it up. I have no fucking idea what that means. I mean, I guess it could mean one of her friends. Are you threatening to get with one of her friends? It doesn't sound like this girl did anything wrong to you. I'm sort of just inventing. I'm just sort of just keeping this segment going for no reason other than just to be a dick. I guess. Seemingly. There's no other reason why I'm still doing this email. You're going to get with one of her friends? I don't think she did anything wrong, so No. What if she did do something wrong? Just like a morality check for me. Is it okay to get with one of her friends if she did do something wrong? I mean, no, but it's not morally or ethically cool. But if on a pettiness scale, that's sort of like a playbook thing that you would do. But I don't know if that's, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't seem, it's not cool. It's not, but in that moment, you're not thinking about what's cool. So I guess if that's what you mean by being in Cavs territory as a Laker LeBron, you're in enemy territory. You want to get with one of your friends. I guess I wouldn't endorse it. I wouldn't endorse you to do. I don't know what I want you to do. I don't want you. I don't think you should be with this woman anymore. I don't think you should. I think you should break up with her. I think for both of your sakes, I think you should break up with her. Because this poor woman, I just feel so bad. Like to most people, to people who aren't me, the guy talking about it, or the guy who emailed this in, these people don't exist. They might as well be fake fucking people. You know what I mean? This might as well have been like an AI generated email. But it's not. Jacob, aka Rusty Buckets, just texted me. We'll cover that in just a second. But it's not. Like what's fucking with my head is that this is a real girl out there somewhere. Really. Honestly, that's what's messing with me right now. Is that this guy is like, that's crazy. I hope this guy emails it again. I feel terrible that I've spent so long on this. But brother, the fact that there's a woman out there who has no idea that her boyfriend of 2 years is emailing into this fucking show talking about, I think I might break up with her because I just think she's boring, is devastating to me. It's devastating to me. What do you say, though, folks? Is it time for a guest here at the Coping Hour? We'll recover all the biggest stories. We're covering them from all angles. Jacob, a.k.a. Rusty Buckets, just texted me. He said, have you seen Trey's reply to Beverly? I'm going to say, taping right now. Can I call? Maybe Jacob will want to join the show. Perhaps Jacob is in a state. He said, have I seen Trey's reply to Patrick Beverly? I think he's talking about, okay, he said I can call. He's talking about, I guess Patrick Beverly said something. We'll find out in just a second. We'll let Jacob tell us. Yeah, I saw some. I did see something about it. Let me go speakerphone. Is this on speakerphone? Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob. I was just explaining to the listeners, I don't know what Patrick Beverly said originally. I saw a clip of Trae Young being like, I made it to a conference finals before you, pussy, and I average more points and assists. And then he was like, I give up, and then he walked away. But I don't know what prompted this at all. I know what's going on a little bit.
Okay. I guess the fast version of it is someone tweeted, why do all-stars take the all-star game less seriously than pickups, on social media over the summer and stuff like that? And Patrick Beverly said, what did he say? He was, all-stars don't actually care about the game. They take it for granted. Trae Young replied, easy, leave this conversation to the all-stars, basically. He's like, you're not in our league, don't talk shit about us. And Patrick Beverly on his podcast was like, I went to the playoffs for the first 9 years of my career. You have missed the playoffs more years than you've made it. And Trae does not get to talk to Beverly because he's not a winner. He also said that if he never wins, they will forget about him, which suggests, because he's aware, that he seems to think that he will be remembered more than Trae Young because he was the fourth best player on the 2015 Houston Rockets.
Okay, so whose side are you on then? So who won the beef?
I would say Trae Young won it because I don't know how much of his response you watched, but he was just really funny. It was very petty and not so. I just very much enjoyed his performance. Grading him on just feeding the drama, but also clapping back. Like, he gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Truly, I would watch the whole thing if I were you.
The format of it looked
But,
pretty
yeah,
jarring
I mean,
to me. He was in like a really dimly lit room, wearing goggles. I thought it looked a little bizarre. I also like he was sort of like a Bond villain, sort of what he was doing. He was also Trae Young really doing the beard thing.
No, dude, literally, I was about to interrupt you about his beard. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I don't know.
It goes a long way.
It really ages him. I don't think it looks bad. I just think it really, really ages him.
I think it's for the better. I think he looks more. He doesn't look like a child anymore.
No, I completely agree.
Kid.
But he also doesn't look. I mean, what is he? 27, maybe 28.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that. He looks like he's 30-3.
I mean, who are you talking to right now?
Well, but you look like you're 27.
That's not the information. That's not what I've been told.
That's not the intelligence. That's not the information that has come across your desk. Hey, did you see this? Did you hear about this? Well, I got you on the horn. Do you have anything for me on Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled?
Oh. I was debating whether or not I would make a third channel video on it, but
no free ads, by the way.
Yeah, I gotta say, if what Jimmy Kimmel said is like one of the more offensive things you've seen in your life, you're a pussy. Grow up, you whiny ass bitch. That was the most milquetoast, nothing shit that he said. Like, they just fucking hate Jimmy Kimmel. And I think it's scary that is something that's like, they're going after you for that, dude. Like, that was such a minor infraction. The shit that I saw on Twitter, every page destroys that in terms of any level of being offensive. Like, I'm actually, like, they're such snowflakes.
You had a really funny response to Charlie Kirk getting killed.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. You were like, but it's not just you. I've seen this reaction from other like YouTubers too. Motherfuckers being like, damn, like it was one of us.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's crazy to me. And it's so goddamn funny.
It kind of is a little bit. I'm nowhere near the scale of fame of Charlie Kirk, especially now. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Like, I'm political on a public platform with my face on it. That does make me nervous a little bit, especially lately.
Stop it. Nobody's gonna fucking gun you down. Get out of here.
I don't think it, but, like, I have so many mental illnesses. I've been mental illness maxing, and I can't help but worry about things that have a 0.00001% chance of happening.
Dog, you don't even be outside.
No, yeah, I don't leave. I'm usually in my apartment or office 95% of the time, maybe.
Dude, it's so real, though. What you're saying is so fucking real. I'm giving you shit for it, but you've seen my house, so you know the big window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I sit in my house. There's a big window, and I'm in front of that window like most of the day. And I'm always like, if the fucking Mossad wanted to, I'm in front of this window all fucking day. And I think about it sometimes where I'm like, what if I just get popped? So I give you shit for it, but I also think, but I think about it sort of more in the, do you remember the Spike TV show, 1,000 Ways to Die?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're like, but what was weird about that show is how much of it was horny.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like it was like
which is great for when you're 13 years old and you're horny, and also death is fucking metal, dude.
Right. It's like Tarantino style violence, like over gratuitous violence with like fake porn. Like it would be like this guy is fucking this chick in a tent and then a rock fell on their heads. And you were like, yeah, fuck yeah. That's awesome.
It would depend on if he got to finish or not.
I'm sure there was one or two about that, like probably a dude having a heart attack or something. A dude just be
if
like...
you died and you didn't get your nut off first, hell. But if the last thing you did was bust a nut, that's pretty good.
Yeah, my grandma does also listen to the show. Yeah.
Hi, Grandma.
Yeah. Just something to think about. Okay, so you think Jimmy Kimmel getting fired was good for America?
Oh, here's the thing. I want to make this abundantly clear. No amount of fear of fascism will make me like Jimmy Kimmel. Fucking wet blanket, boring, bland, liberal, not funny, hack. But it's not good. It's definitely concerning.
Do you...
a little worried about the fascist takeover of the country, but Jimmy Kimmel's not the first pillar to fall. I saw a very good tweet that was like, guy who figures out fascism is happening because Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. I think for some people it's like Rudy Gobert being the first time anyone took COVID seriously.
Oh, there's a take. My take detector is beeping. Beep, 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 beep. I think we found one, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see... I got a couple emails about this. I'm sure some people maybe tagged you in this. My brother sent this to me, too. Did you see that Kenny, a.k.a. King of the Fourth Quarter, tweeted? He was like, I'm looking to make someone a fucking millionaire. He was like, I'm trying to hire some fucking sick podcasters. So hit my fucking line. Did you see that tweet?
I didn't know he said he was trying to make millionaires. I did see that he wanted a podcast host.
I've been embellishing. That's all he said was that he was looking to hire a new show.
I'd be more compelled if it was for $1 million.
I'd be more, you know how you know I'm bullshitting is because I said that Kenny said fuck. Kenny would never say that shit. No way. Not in public.
That's not true.
Kenny?
He curses on his Kenny For Real channel from time to time.
Oh, does he? Okay. I'm thinking of like mainstream Kenny. Like Kenny wouldn't put fuck on his timeline.
I think he might.
Let's pressure Kenny to denounce Israel.
Bro.
Let's boycott King of the Fourth Quarter until he denounces the aerial and ground assault in the Gaza Strip. Let's say no more King of the Fourth Quarter. I know NBA 2K26 just came out, guys, and he's going to do the same rebuild he's done every single year.
Oh, and you can see the light leaving his eyes year by year.
Dude, it's crazy. I've said this. I say that tongue in cheek because for real, I don't want to sound like I'm like immediately backtracking on what I just said. But like, it's crazy that I think I've maintained this. He has the best content for like, I'm about to eat something and I need to watch something for 10 to 15 minutes. I'll put on the same Kenny rebuild that I've seen him do 200 times. And it's somehow just like I've never watched it before. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of like, he's so good at it.
Content.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's essentially the only one who's like survived the 2K apocalypse, content apocalypse.
Yeah. But it's kind of like one of those apocalypses you don't really want to survive.
Yeah, but I also think that
actually, I'd rather kill myself.
Well, I wonder for him also if some of the juice and the squeeze is access. Just because access, because you figure like, I don't know, you're telling me he's never met Ronnie 2K? You don't think he has Ronnie 2K's number?
I'm sure he has.
So, right. So I'm saying shit like that. Like, I don't know, like being the 2K guy, the 2K content creator, so to speak. Or one of them. I don't know the landscape. I have no idea. But I'm just saying as far as like the rebuilds and shit go. Like, yeah, that's Kenny. It's always been Kenny. So I just wonder if that's just one more, you know, like avenue that he has to like be knowing people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe he has talked before about ending that channel, but has yet to do it.
Do you have any?
Pretty forward about not being like, this is my favorite thing to do still.
Any final nice thoughts about King of the Fourth Quarter? King of the Fourth Quarter. I'll say this. My final nice thought about Kenny, aka King of the Fourth Quarter. I saw him one time. I think driving his Tesla. And I've always wanted to. He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. That's it. Those are my closing thoughts on Kenny.
I met him once. Gotta say, dude's schedule both times I was in Vegas conveniently ducked any possibility of us playing one-on-one. So that question is still in the air.
Okay, do you have any YouTubers that, before I let you go, that you want to throw shade at? You want to stir up any drama? I think we could beef really well, honestly. I think it would be mutually beneficial if we beefed.
I don't know. I feel like you fight dirty.
I've thought about this.
I will beef with you, but I can imagine, just based on being friends with you, how you would fight.
If I tell you, I don't know how this is going to make you feel as like my friend. But for the last like 2 months, I've started to type out and then deleted text to you where I'm like, what if we manufactured beef? And I've thought about this extensively. At least a dozen times over the last 2 months. I think about this a lot. About just like, what if... and like what shots I would take and how I would do it. And because I'm like, he's got nothing. He fucking wouldn't say anything. So do you want to do this?
No. I think it'd be better for your career than mine.
You think so? You think people would just view it for you as punching down? And
yeah, I would have been like, why is he making videos about this guy?
And then there's just me being like, this guy's a pussy.
I was there when your channel started, man. I can't beef with you. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
Destroy the Sith, not join them.
Yeah, type shit. You know what I mean? Type shit. I was watching.
You need to say my good thing about Kenny. You didn't allow me to.
Okay, go ahead.
He was very nice when I met him, I guess. His reputation as the nicest guy is true based on my 15-minute watching a full summer league game with him.
Is that the most famous person you've ever met before?
Shit. Do you consider Duke Dennis more famous than Kenny?
What the fuck? You met Duke Dennis? Why?
I was on...
What the fuck?
Legend of Winning Agent Zero used to have a podcast, and I was on it in my, I think the last time I was like 22, and they were like, I think starting AMP, I was on it 2 times. I think I met him the first time.
What the fuck?
They were like starting AMP. I don't think Duke Dennis was that famous. Oh, I think Kai Cenat was also there, so that would be it.
What the hell?
There's video of me on peer-to-peer the first time I was on it, meeting Duke Dennis. He walks into frame. I don't know who he is. I'm very awkward, like painfully awkward. I don't know who this guy is. I believe he tried to dap me up, and I white-manned it. Like, it was not good, but I did meet him.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Yeah.
You have sort of a Forrest Gump life in some way.
It was weird to think back on. I was like, holy shit, this guy's like the most famous man on the internet now.
Duke Dennis or Kai Cenat?
Kai Cenat.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, well, anything, we're going to debut a new segment here at the Coping Hour, where before I let you go, you can say anything you want, and I will bleep it. So you can say it if you want. I know you can say it if you want. Go ahead.
Fuck, man, that's on the spot.
All right, Jacob. Well, thanks for joining the show. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for joining the show, Jacob. That was a great spot that you did here.
What?
And I didn't hear what you said because you took too long. And so
I said it.
well, you took too long, and so I was talking over it, and so the viewers.
Make sure you censor it, because
There's nothing to censor because I was talking over it, so nobody will be able to hear it. And all right, Jacob. Well, thanks for calling into the Copenhagen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we at for today's show? Where are we at? I did watch a bunch of soccer this weekend. Champions League. Well, not the weekend. It's the middle of the week. Champions League on, was it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? So we got a big slate of games. Today I was able to watch. I was watching Golazzo, which is just the not Goal Rush, like the Red Zone equivalent. Adjacent for soccer, and I was watching all the games this weekend. So sorry, I'm just getting them. Sorry, I'm just stalling. I'm just getting them pulled up right here. So just to go back to where I started, Real Madrid. It's nice to see them win. I can't wait to see them. I don't know if they've worn them yet this year. Real Madrid, the third kits, the blue ones that they got this year. Woo, woo! Those are very, very nice. Those are very, very nice. Not sure if I want the long sleeve or the short sleeve. I think that might be one of the ones that I want a long sleeve for. Any Adidas kit that has like the retro Adidas logo, like the leaf looking one. Oh my God, just so good. Let's see, what else did I watch? Bayern versus Chelsea. Yeah, the note was Harry Kane. The note that I had was Harry Kane. Holy shit, Harry Kane is sick. He's so sick. He's just so good. Funny to watch Chelsea get back into the Champions League, and it's still at the end of the day, Harry Kane that is like, nope, fucking nope. He had 2 goals in that game. PSG at Atlanta, yeah. PSG, that was like a tune-up game. Kvaratskhelia scored. Was it Nuno Mendes who had a goal at the end of that game that was fucking sick nasty? Not Nuno Mendes. What did I just say? It was Ramos. Had a goal at the end of the game that was nasty, freak shit. Kvaratskhelia scored, so it's kind of the only thing that we pay attention to around here, folks. What other games? What other games happened here? Inter and Ajax. It was I think that was the only interesting thing that happened in that game was Thuram had there was a sequence in they thought he was going to get a penalty, and then it was he actually committed a foul before he had a foul committed on him that would have given him the penalty. And so that went off the board. That was the most interesting thing that happened in that game. Liverpool game, super electric. Those Atletico kits, woo, super super good. Need those. Virgil van Dijk, game winner, super electric. Did Mo Salah score in this game too? Very very fun. Nice game at Anfield. Beautiful, touching tributes to Diogo Jota. Before this game, played for both Atletico and Liverpool, right? So. Very cool stuff there. The Frankfurt Galatasaray game was funny. Galatasaray scored like immediately, like 8-10 minutes into the game, and then the next 5 goals were Frankfurt. Okay, all right. Shout out to Gundogan. Shout out to him. Although Galatasaray, not really. Reverse shout out to Galatasaray because they fucking stink. Unfortunately for them. Barcelona, no Lamine Yamal in this game. Didn't matter. Marcus Rashford. What the hell? What the hell? No Lamine Yamal, so Marcus Rashford had to step up in his stead and scored 2 goals. The first one that he scored, the header, was just an absolute fucking nail into the back of the net. I don't know how you generate as much velocity on a header that he did there. Even snapping your neck. No idea how he snapped it the way that he did. Nasty freak shit. And then the other screamer that he fired in. Who the is this guy? Marcus Rashford. So good for him. Really cool for to see him have the game that he did. Was it Anthony Gordon, I think, that had a goal late in this game. Didn't matter. And then the only other game of note was Man City and Napoli, the homecoming for Kevin De Bruyne back at the Etihad. and then was subbed off after like 17 minutes. Was subbed out of the game immediately because Napoli got a red. So they were playing a guy short for like 70, 80 minutes, and Kevin De Bruyne had to come off, and so that was short-lived. That stunk. Holland scored, freebie, so also a header, actually. And then Jeremy Doku had the second one, and it was one of those goals from Doku that you always knew was in there. You fucking always knew it was in there. So cool to see him score the goal that he did, because it was just, again, you just knew it was in there. Him playing as I always get confused with the formations and the lineups that Pep runs, because he changes them on a fucking game-by-game basis. Although I think, actually, I say that, the 11 that they ran against Napoli today in the Champions League, I think may have been the exact same 11, believe it or not, that they ran against United on Sunday. I think it may have been a game that Holland also scored in twice, I believe, by the way. We didn't talk about that game, but yep, we did watch that here at home, the game against United. Yeah, they look great. Doku had this is what I was trying to say, the goal that he had, you just knew it was in there. And sorry, this is actually what I was trying to say. I always get confused about formations and lineups with Pep Guardiola, but I don't know if he was midfield or if he was a winger today, but I tell you what, he was handling the ball well, and that little nutmeg he had at the whoop to score his goal. Shout out to him. Love that for him. Love this for Manchester City. And it was a fun week for the Champions League. So, folks, Spotify, what's up? That's not what I say to you guys. Spotify. I actually thought about this question for you guys earlier. This is going to sound like I'm like trying to just do a super crude joke. I was actually thinking about this earlier. How many times, like for real, a month do you guys think you have diarrhea? Because like a month, I don't know, 6, 7, 6. Well, but that means it's like once a week. Do I have diarrhea once a week? No, I don't think so. No, 6 is too many. 4. Yeah, probably about 4. Probably about 4 that I'm like, I can't. This is something fierce. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got something that stank a little bit or it burns a little bit, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real, capital D, bolded, italicized, underlined, diarrhea. You guys like be getting that a lot? Because like at what point do you have IBS? You know? At what point, like where is the line between I eat like shit and I have IBS? Because I don't think I have either, to be honest with you. I eat pretty well, especially at this point in my life. Meal prepped breakfast burritos. Made like 9 of those fuckers. You think I eat bad? No. Cracked like 10 damn eggs. Crack, 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 crack. You think I eat bad? Oh, okay. Fucker. Shut up. I don't know. Probably 3-4 times a month, though. Something like that. That seems normal, though. This just happens. This is the human body. Sort of what we go through, the ebbs and flows. Okay, Apple Podcasts. What's up? What's up? If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, nice little comment for the algorithm. Make sure to keep primary control in check. And I will catch you guys in the next one.
Beautiful, beautiful. Primary control. Beautiful. Primary control. Beautiful. Primary control.